Welcome back to the Big Scoopers podcast.
Welcome back.
We're very happy to have you joining us this day.
This fine
day.
Smashers, the queens of all the chatter. Laughing while we sipping pre-workout, it's a pattern. Rolling through the industry with the big scoops.
We're going to jump right in with a hot topic. Ozempic,
GLP-1s,
Wegovy.
semaglutide.
There's other names too.
Yeah, I don't really know them off the top of my head.
I don't know them off the dome. But yeah. So we have a few kind of questions, I guess, and we kind of wanted to do like a deep dive into it. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings on Ozempic, and that is why it is a hot topic. Everybody's trying to get their little mitts on it. Little mitts, whether you really need it or not.
Are we just glamorizing weight loss all over again, but this time with a copay and a needle?
What do you think?
I think in theory, when you think about it, I just have to take one shot a week and I'm going to lose all this weight. Like, yeah, that sounds literally magical.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when you think about the long-lasting effects of it, it's more deeper than that.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
It can be used as a tool,
mm-hmm.
but not a quick fix.
Right. Yeah.
In simple terms, I guess.
Yeah, that's a great way. I mean, that's what I would have said. It can be used as a tool for the right people. A lot of people who don't necessarily need it, what their goal is, could be done with diet, exercise, lifestyle change. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
I think a lot of people think that just because their doctor will prescribe it to them, that means that they need it. You could go in today and say, I have a bad time paying attention, and most doctors on average are just going to give you the pill because they get paid to push pills.
Mm-hmm.
Respectfully. Like, I don't mean that in a disrespectful manner. Like, I have a doctor, love him to death. He would never do that because he's more of taking the natural route before introducing drugs into your system, but
mm-hmm.
that they're going to make more money if they push more medicine.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Yeah. Right. And I think we just went through a whole phase of body positivity. I don't know if you're familiar with the body positivity movement, which kind of is tied into this because I feel like being skinny is kind of in again. You know what I mean?
I want to be small.
Skinny. You think I'm skinny? But, you know, being skinny is kind of the it thing to be, especially when you see all these celebrities who have been taking Ozempic and they're super slimmed down, especially when you saw how they were 6 months ago and now they're stepping on the red carpet looking completely different. And like a lot of them look great, but they also have a lot of resources that like regular people don't have too.
Yeah, and I think it depends on who are the people that you look at in that sort of way that it's like, oh, I want to look like them. You know what I mean? Because I know that there's also a lot of people on TikTok that I see where it's like, you know, they're in the gym culture, I would say, and they want to get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you kind of have both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah, and we sort of touched on that last week too. Like, just because you're doing what someone else is doing does not mean you're going to look like them. So, well, let's talk about what it is for to begin with. So, Really, it was for type 2 diabetics. It was supposed to help with regulating blood sugars because that is one of the things that is difficult for people who have type 2 diabetes for their body to do naturally. But GLP-1s, like semaglutide, Ozempic, Wegovy, all of the things, it mimics the hormone that stimulates insulin production, which is in the pancreas. And it basically what it does is it reduces your appetite and it makes you feel satiated longer. So therefore you're not eating as much, right? So you're taking in less calories, right? Which is really essentially what, if you just took Ozempic away completely and we're doing a similar thing and eating less, kind of the same thing.
So I know one thing that we talked about, it's going to take mass off of your body overall, but in that it's taking off bone mass, organ mass, lean muscle mass, and of course the thing that people wanted to take off is the fat mass, but you're not thinking about everything else in your body that it's also affecting.
And you do have fat too. A lot of people think of fat as like the subcutaneous fat, which is what lines the inside of our skin, which is what we see, you know, when we look in the mirror and we're like, oh my gosh, the belly is fat. But you also have fat that lines your organs, which is called visceral fat, which is also like important. We also talked about this last week, having a healthy amount of fat is good. Like if you do not have the fat that you're supposed to have on your body, which for women, I want to say, I could be completely wrong, but I want to say for women, ideally 18%, maybe 14 to 18%.
Why was I thinking it was 25?
It could have been.
That might be high.
But it says for athletes, 14 to 20% body fat is ideal. Someone who's fit and healthy would be 21 to 24%. Someone who's on stage for bodybuilding would be ideally like 8% body fat.
That's nuts.
That is crazy. So to give you like a visual.
So some of the common problems or side effects of these drugs are nausea, diarrhea, bloating, fatigue, low blood sugar, pancreatitis, essentially just GI tract issues.
Yeah, lots of GI issues.
I don't know, like I feel like when you come off of this, would your body not be in starvation mode and then retain more once you come off of it?
Well,
you don't think? Because if you're not eating, like if it's suppressing your appetite to the point where you're going days without eating, your body at some point is going to go in fight or flight mode and think that you need to retain everything that you do put in your body.
That's what I would think too. If you haven't changed habits, binge eating, not healthily eating, not going to the gym or like moving your body in general, you're going to fall back into the same patterns that you were doing before, and you're probably going to go back to the way you looked before. Right. Okay, so this says GLP-1 receptor agonists, such as semaglutide, can be beneficial for people with PCOS, especially if they have insulin resistance, obesity, or difficulty managing weight. So basically,
it just helps you lose weight.
Yeah. Basically, which is
because people overweight are more susceptible to having PCOS, right?
Well, yeah, because you got to think like people who are overweight, which been there, so I can relate. Lots and lots and lots of inflammation just throughout your body. PCOS, inflammation. I'm pretty sure inflammation is a big player in PCOS.
But I feel like this could go into the same effects that some people go through with bodybuilding, where they don't get their period at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're losing all of that mass in your body, I would think that would make it worse. To some regard, I think that would be maybe if you continue taking it instead of, okay, I've lost the weight, now let me change, or as you're losing the weight, changing your habits into healthier habits in order to continue a healthy lifestyle. I think that's the whole thing is like, Big Pharma is trying to get us addicted to medications so that we are now reliant upon medications to help us lose weight, to function, to, whatever the things are that you struggle with, to sleep.
And you got to think, I see it all the time where people are taking medications for one thing, but then they're taking medications for the side effects of that, and then taking medications for the side effects of that, and then
it snowballs.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer in if you can keep it as holistic as possible with supplementation and healthy eating and movement, you're probably good.
Yeah.
But a lot of people will...
And
therapy, absolutely. And a lot of time, for mental, for sure.
In other countries, pharmacies and like drug companies can't put out commercials. Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
So that kind of brings us to the commercial. Do you want to talk about the commercial?
Oh, yeah. So I'm sure a lot of people saw the his and hers Super Bowl commercial. Essentially what the commercial is just this buildup of talking about how our country is obese and Big Pharma doesn't care about us as people, and just like lots of...
how we're being pushed medications.
Yeah, push medications, and it's a very intense, emotional commercial, which that's what it's trying to do. It's trying to build up some emotion behind it, so that way people maybe make an emotional decision to take their semaglutide and not anyone else's. Don't get the way overpriced Ozempic that the doctor is going to prescribe you. Take theirs.
But the thing is, you have to have a doctor's prescription. So, and they're pushing that you come to their online doctors to get prescribed this. And I think that you should have to have an in-person doctor to be prescribed anything of this nature.
Yeah.
You can't sit here over the phone and tell me I need this. You're not doing any kind of blood work on me. You've not seen me in person. You don't know what you don't know anything about me.
Yep.
Except for what I'm telling you. And I could tell you anything. End opinion on said drug. Can it be used in a beneficial manner? Yes.
Yes. As long as you are getting some kind of guidance, once you use this tool for its benefits, right? As long as you are changing your lifestyle so when you're finished using the tool, you can,
And this should not be a forever thing.
Absolutely not. But I'm also a believer in, like, it can be done without, right?
Yeah.
Because I did it. And it's not easy. It's not an easy trek. But
yeah, and I don't want to talk down on somebody who uses that as a tool. Because, like, obviously, how much weight did you lose?
80 pounds.
Yeah, like, if you need to lose, like, 200 plus pounds. So, I've seen a lot of people kind of posting their 75 hard before and after photos.
Mm-hmm.
And,
well, she's done.
Yeah, I'm done.
She's done with 75 hard.
And I will say that I started out, before I started 75 hard, I wasn't what most people, I think, would classify as, like, big.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, was I in great shape? No.
Right.
Was I mentally in a good place? No. And that was kind of the things I wanted to change, and that's why I did it. But I will see people who, probably were about 70 pounds overweight who did it, and in 75 days, they're losing, like, 50 pounds.
Right.
So I think you have to also be realistic with the things that you want to attain. So, like, if you're not 200 pounds overweight, these are not drugs that you should be taking if you just want to lose 5 pounds.
Yeah. And you got to think, too, when I talk about, like, for example, my, like, weight loss, that's over a 5-year span, right? I was sitting at 170 for almost a year, and then I was sitting at 160 for almost a year where literally I didn't change. The slower, typically, the slower weight comes off, the easier it is to maintain. Mm-hmm. When you drop weight like that, it is going to be very easy for you to gain it right back quickly.
Yeah.
So not always.
How much? Do you mind if I ask you how much you weigh now?
Oh yeah, I'm like 150. Of my show weight was probably like 129. So I originally was 220.
Okay.
To begin with, and then when I like initially had lost like 15 pounds, and that kind of like I was like, okay, I can do this, and then it just came off very slow. Like I would probably lose like 2 pounds a month.
Not to just keep harping on this. One thing I have to get out there. Mm-hmm. You can have whatever opinion you want to on this, you or anyone listening. Something I think it's funny how I have personally seen people who, and I will preface this with, I did not get COVID vaccinated. I did not get vaccinated. Mm-hmm. I don't get flu vaccinations. Like, I do not get vaccinated.
I didn't get vaccinated.
My vaccinations, like, as a child that I had to get, and I got, like, the STD vaccinations. That's it. Mm-hmm. I don't go and get vaccinations every year because the flu changes every single year. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to combat something that's going to change in order to get into your... Yeah, anyways, that's a whole other topic. We can do vaccinations next time.
Yeah.
But I have seen people who were, like, hardcore during all of that stuff, like, I'm not going to get vaccinated. Y'all don't even know the side effects of these vaccinations, yada, yada, yada. Okay, cool. I stand with you on that. I didn't get it either.
Yeah.
Cool, great, whatever. Not a big vaccination girly. Mm-hmm. But then you're taking this drug to lose weight. We don't know the long-term side effects of this drug because of how new it is.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can have that strong of an opinion on something just because of a political stance.
Yeah.
But then do the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It's very
hypocritical.
Hypocritical.
You got it.
The stutter is back. Impact on the supplement game. Are supplement brands trying to hop on the GLP-1 hype train? Yes. We can talk about the
natural
Ozempic.
The natural Ozempic. Okay, so there was one in particular. I'm not going to say what the brand of it was or like what the...
We'll say it's on TikTok Shop. TikTok shop labeled as natural Ozempic.
So you may have heard of berberine. It is a good alternative for metformin. Come in and ask us if that's something you're interested in doing, if you wanted to take that instead of your metformin.
I feel like 2 years ago, berberine was like a big hype to talk about.
Berberine, green tea extract, which is another big, thing you see a lot.
Green tea is nature's Ozempic.
It's not.
Might make you a little sleepy. Get your belly warm.
Yeah, right. Cinnamon, aloe, curcumin, taurine, boron. That's literally all that's in it. All this is going to do is suppress your appetite.
Aloe vera is good for digestion. And
it's not
an alternative
for
Ozempic. It's not a miracle. Yeah, no.
It also, like, curcumin and berberine is good for anti-inflammatory. So that's also where people are probably like, oh, like, it makes me feel better, like, whatever. But it is not going to drop 15 pounds in a month or anything like that. If you even lose any weight with it at all.
I'll repeat this again like I said last week. Placebo is a crazy thing.
It sure is.
Stop buying supplements off of TikTok.
And Amazon. Please, God. Please, God.
Unless you do your research. Like, I mean,
yeah.
A pre-workout is a pre-workout is a pre-workout is a pre-workout.
Usually. As long as you're buying a supplement third-party tested, okay, please, third-party tested, from the company itself. If you're buying it from Amazon, buy it through the company's page. I don't know how that works, but, where it's actually coming from the distributor.
Yeah, and if you want to see if there's a difference, look at the nutrition facts. I do know, like, Ghost sells some products in Walmart, and those products that they sell at Walmart versus the products they sell at, like, GNC are formulated a little bit different. Yeah, stuff like that. But it's still not anything that's going to, like, make or break. It's just some of the ingredients are a little less quality.
You get what you pay for.
Yeah. Should people on GLP-1s be lifting weights?
Yes.
I wonder how it affects your lean muscle mass, though. Since you're still going to lose muscle mass, like, are you just keeping up the same muscle mass that you had before, or are you actually capable of building muscle mass while on it?
Well, you have to think, too, you need to make sure that you're taking in an adequate amount of protein.
Yeah.
So if you're taking in that protein, it is going to be the building blocks of your muscles.
People probably aren't if it's suppressing their appetite to the point where they're not eating, though.
See, and that's part of the problem, too.
That means you're just malnourished. And I know there has been a thing talking about, like, Ozempic face. Some people who are taking it for prolonged periods of time, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, do, especially once they've gotten to the point where it's like, okay, you should stop taking it and now, like, just continue healthy habits.
Yeah.
Like, their eyes get very sunken in. Like, they look
unhealthy.
Yeah.
And sick.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it is someone's choice to do what they want to with their body.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to take Ozempic, does it affect me? No, it really doesn't. I want the best for you. I want the best for my friends. I would want the best for my family. And it's your responsibility to do the research and know what you're putting into your body anyways. And if you don't care, then you don't care and do whatever you want. But
I think if somebody I cared about came to me asking my opinion on, like, oh, I'm thinking about taking it, like, what do you think I should do? I think I would encourage them to, like, go a month and, like, just try to be in a calorie deficit or, like, up their protein intake every day or, like, work out 3 times a week before they start.
I do think that a little self-control goes a long way. And again, like, that kind of stuff, it is hard. It's hard to say no to yourself. I deserve that treat, but I also deserve health.
I love a nap.
Yeah.
I love a little nap right day.
Uh-huh.
So, like, in that aspect, I can see as to where it's, like, easier to be lazy. But my problems derive from, I think, wanting to spend money. Dude, if I go shopping, I'm not hungry at all. I am on cloud 9. That's my appetite suppressant right there.
So, I love a coffee. I more so like the event of going to get the coffee. I don't know what it is. It's like I'm out and about. Let's get a coffee.
I don't really like shopping for clothes as much anymore.
Really?
I think I just like shopping for knickknacks.
I will be damned if I'm getting a knickknack. But do your thing, girl.
You know what's something I figured out at Target?
What?
So I was looking for, like, Tupperware, things to put, like, my lunch and stuff in. I don't know why I lose Tupperware so often. I don't know where it goes. I think sometimes I leave it in the car, it gets rotted, and I throw it away.
Yeah.
I digress. So like on the main aisles, they have a lot of Tupperware options. Pretty pricey. I was looking for trash bags. I go in the trash bag aisle.
Tupperware. Yeah.
They got the cheapo Tupperware back there. And it's the same thing.
Yep.
But cheaper.
Target's out here playing us.
If that's not marketing, I don't know what is.
They know what they're doing.
And we're on to it. I will walk to the back aisle. Don't play me.
We got our rapid fire.
All right. Freshman 15, real or rumor?
Real.
Real. Especially if you, I don't know. Did you live on campus?
No. I went to Greenville Tech. You think I'm living on campus? Absolutely not.
But I know a lot of people who live on campus who are on a meal plan. That food is terrible for you.
Yeah.
I don't know what they put in that school cafeteria food. I think it has a lot of sodium in it.
It's possible. Because it tastes good, right?
Boy, it blows you up. What would we tell someone headed off to college to help them with this problem?
If that's something you want to do to keep track of, stay active, walk where you
Hydrate.
Hydrate.
I know a lot of schools, the school I went to, and I would assume most schools have like drink machines where you can get sodas. And it's like included in your meal plan. Make sure you're drinking water. And another big factor, I think, is a lot of people, I think, in high school are typically, even if you're an athlete in high school, a lot of people don't go on to college and continue being an athlete. So make sure that you're keeping up an active lifestyle and don't just become completely sedentary just because you're not playing a sport anymore.
Yeah.
Fasting, fact or fluff? I don't have strong opinions on it. Religious purposes, great. Love it. Love to hear it for you.
Yeah. And when we were discussing it earlier, I mean, it shortens your window of eating to where, if you're shortening your time that you're going to be eating within, you're essentially going to be eating less, ideally. However, you could just not eat as much.
All the benefits that are associated with fasting,
very
even down to the insulin control and things like that, those also can be combated with lowering your calories.
Yeah. And it's very mental. I mean, you're basically just telling yourself, all right, I can't eat between the hours of 9 and whatever the hell, 12. Like, okay. Or you could just...
Are bad foods actually bad, or is nutrition myth that we need to kill? Are some foods more macronutrient? Yes.
Are some foods less macronutrient? Yes.
But that doesn't make them necessarily bad.
No. But if you are eating like an excess of them to the point where it's like, all right, chill out, yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, so it's eating in moderation.
Yeah.
Moderation of everything.
Are my lemon blueberry scones bad? Some would say yes. My heart would say no.
So would you say you're a sweets or a salty?
Honestly, I'm kind of both. Okay. But a lemon blueberry scone, I don't know, there's something about it. And it's a very specific one. It is from the Exchange Co. or something in Simpsonville. They make them there.
Okay.
But they're gluten-free and dairy-free. Not that really means anything. It's still equally as bad for you, but...
I love that people think that gluten-free means healthy.
I know. That's crazy. That's actually crazy.
Why are people scared of gluten? We made a video, if you ever want to look at it, it's on the Nutrition Source page. We did a deep dive on fiber, right? And we talked about greens powder, how they only have, 4 grams of fiber per serving. I think that's a misconception with people. You need to read the label on things. So I think a lot of people would probably be like, oh, it has 10 grams of fiber in it.
No.
You know what else has 4 grams of fiber per serving?
What?
Olipop.
Really?
Yes. And you know what's even crazier? I was at Harris Teeter. Shout out. Love Harris Teeter. Big teat girl. And I was looking at the kombucha and stuff. And I was like, surely this has a lot of fiber. You're telling me it's made with all these vegetables and crap. No. You know what it has a lot of?
Sugar.
Sodium and sugar.
Yeah. Well, it's fermented, and fermentation produces sugar.
So what is that supposed to be good for?
Gut stuff.
Is it?
It's supposed to be. But you know what else has a lot of sugar in it because it's fermented? Wine. So it's
But I wouldn't say wine's usually classified as drink wine for your health.
Well, some would argue red wine, but it's not true. like red wine is a glass of red wine a night is supposed to be good for your heart or something, which has been debunked and is not true. But there's very, very minimal research on that. But
you know what I also love?
What?
Okay, I wouldn't say I love. I don't actually like these. I'm just being sarcastic here for the listeners who can't see me. The little not energy shots, but the little oh God, what are they called? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, like the health shots, like a flu shot. That's like a Termaflu or turmeric shot or whatever. Yeah.
Please stop falling for bullcrap. Like, I don't really even know how else to put that. I was looking at the label on the back. Do you know how much sodium is in those?
A lot.
A lot. You're drinking salt water. I just got bored walking around. I was like, maybe I should try some kombucha. Maybe that has fiber in it. No. And then I saw the Olipop. First of all, does it have 4 grams of fiber? Yes. Is that great? Yes. Did it taste like butt? Also, yes.
I don't like those drinks.
Terrible.
Yeah. Which one did you get?
I got the cherry cola.
The strawberry
cream.
It's not that bad.
I've tried a few of them. Like, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy it again because it's.
Yeah.
That's a chunk of change.
It's like $5 for one or something.
Has some good health benefits, I guess. It does have fiber in it, which I thought was kind of interesting. Yeah. Especially in comparison to something like kombucha, where it's like, oh, look at this. It's so good for your health.
Yeah.
How? In what ways?
Yeah.
What is in it that's good for me?
Yeah. I got you.
I think I was just assuming that it would have fiber in it based off the way that it's kind of promoted to the public. Okay, anyways. Sorry, went down a rabbit hole.
Anyways.
What is a fitness misconception you believed when you first started?
Like, you can eat whatever you want as long as you run a mile, or as long as you go to the gym. I mean, have you ever heard that where, like, you can essentially eat whatever you want as long as you're burning X amount of calories in the gym or something like...
I'm sorry? I don't think I've ever heard that.
Okay. I have. And I was like, oh, okay. Perfect. I would run a lot. I would run a lot and, like, not just to the kitchen, but...
I will say, like, in high school, I probably had a lot of misconceptions about a lot of things. I think that I really thought the only way to, like, lose weight or whatever was probably through cardio. And a lot of it. But, like, when I really got started on my fitness journey, like, after high school and stuff, I said this in the first podcast, I think, but I had this girl named Bailey. She was, like, helping me or whatever, and, like, I paid her. I guess you would call her a trainer. She was helping me, like, with my food and workouts. I'll say this. I do better if I don't think. I need somebody, if you tell me what to do, I'll do it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't one of those people who was, like, taking in information from a lot of different sources, trying to figure out my own path. I was like, I'm going to pay you to tell me what to do.
Right.
And I'll believe whatever you tell me.
Yeah.
And the things she did tell me just turned out to be, like, the correct things.
Oh,
like, she was really good for me. The supplement store trap. Why do so many supplement stores push junk, and how does TNS keep it real?
Well, a lot of supplement stores...
Commission.
They're making commission. They're trying to make money. And at the end of the day, they're trying to keep their lights on, plus put a little change in their pocket. And that's just not... I don't know. I think there's a bigger mission here than that.
Yeah, if you walk into a store and you don't necessarily have any actual issues, like you don't know if you're vitamin deficient, you don't know, like you don't have a list of like, these are the issues I'm struggling with, and someone who's telling you, okay, you could take this for this problem, this for this problem, you just walk in and you're like, I want to lose weight. And they just build up a stack of products for you to buy. Run.
Yeah.
They have no idea what your lifestyle is. They don't know what you're deficient in. They don't know the things that you need. They don't care about helping you actually learn how to live a healthy lifestyle. They're just trying to get you to buy something.
Yeah. Honestly, one of the first things that I was asked when I was a customer here before I started working was, have you had lab work done? That is a huge green flag, because the person who's asking me that is going to be able to look at my labs, look at my levels, and see like, oh, okay, so like she's probably deficient in vitamin D, vitamin B, like whatever. And she doesn't need A, B, or C, but she could benefit from whatever, you know, and
Yeah.
like being asked like what your lifestyle is, because that's super important. What foods are you eating? What does your meal plan look like? Or, you know, what are the
Right.
foods that you're eating look like?
Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing that we do here is, you know, write down 3 days of what you eat, like keep a little food diary, 3 days, bring it back, let's look at it together and let's figure out, you know, where you're at and how can we adjust where you're at to get you to where you want to be.
Exactly. And if they ever tell you like, oh, you have to have this, like if this is your goal or whatever,
Yeah.
no. Jacob harps on this a lot, that it's a supplement store. Supplement means that you're supplementing something that's missing in your diet, but it really could, in all practical purposes, probably be fixed with actual whole foods. So these are things to help you in your journey, not to fix you or to
Right.
be a quick fix.
There are no magic pills, and that kind of ties back into,
Except Ozempic.
I'm sure Jason, Jacob, Braden, Austin have all encountered the same type of people who come in. They're like, what can I take that's going to get me super buff, but also cut down all my fat in a month? And there's just, fat burners are another tool that can be used. Well, I don't like to call them fat burners.
They don't burn fat. That is good marketing, folks.
Yes. Essentially what a fat burner, a thermogenic is what I'm going to call it, a thermogenic, does is that it will suppress your appetite. It can make you sweat a hell of a lot, which is also going to make you feel like you're doing a lot more work when you're sweating, right? It can also make you feel energized, give you more energy, like a lot of thermogenics have caffeine in them. And then there's some that can kind of make you feel like euphoric, if you will. Like, for example, again, when I'm on prep, I will take a thermogenic in the morning before my fasted cardio to kind of make me feel not super hungry when I'm doing an hour cardio in the morning at like 4 in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something else about like sweating, you know, waist trainers.
You cannot spot fat loss, and that's all I'm going to say. You cannot spot fat loss.
Right. There's also this trend going around of people putting castor oil on their stomach and sleeping in it, and they're like putting castor oil in their belly button and then like wrapping their stomach, and they're like, oh, I wake up debloated. You know what? I do too. I wake up every morning debloated.
Because your body is digesting the food and doing the job it's supposed to do.
Yep.
I bet you feel a lot more debloated after your first poop of the morning too, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please stop doing that.
Crazy how that happens.
Please stop. It could have benefits for your pores, for the inside of your body. No.
Isn't castor oil a laxative?
I don't think you can you eat castor oil?
Castor oil is a stimulant laxative.
It doesn't seep into your skin, though.
It works by stimulating the muscles in your intestines to contract. No, you would have to drink it.
So you'd be better off drinking some castor oil before you go to bed, really.
Yeah.
New trend, drink the castor oil.
Drink the castor oil.
Stop putting it on your tummy. You're wasting it.
You heard it here first.
Yep. We need to trademark that.
TNS castor oil. That's
Scoop of the day, gossip and gym tea, period.
Oh my God. Period.
This is where we're going to get juicy.
Oh my gosh.
Who's dating who at the gym?
I don't know. I mean, you tell me. You're the queen bee of the gym tea.
I do love keeping up with people. One thing I love to do is look at like people commenting on other people's posts.
Okay.
I will say this. This is just me speaking on my behalf in my relationship and things that I do and do not tolerate within my relationship. If I saw that my husband was out here commenting on other women's posts of them doing booty workouts, literal crap's gonna hit the fan. Like, no. Simply put, no. H-E double hockey sticks, no. Heck to the no, 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 no. That would not fly.
Yeah.
No. Do I see married men doing this?
Yes.
Yes. If
Please
you are that
stop.
married man, please stop. And when me and Jacob, I will say, when we first started dating, like, he would like other girls' posts. It's not even that I have a problem with him liking other girls' posts, but, like, you know, there's some posts that are different than other posts.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a seductive post of, like, you in a bikini or you know,
It's not
doing a
appropriate.
workout where literally your butt's the only thing in the camera. Like,
It's not appropriate.
that's distasteful.
Yeah.
That's a poor choice to be making. And even if you as a male think that it's not, I have been on the other side of this where I was posting things that, you know, I was trying to get a little male attention.
Right.
And male attention I received. And I would have, like, married men or guys in relationships that were, like, liking all of my posts. Or they would, like, you know, if I post a story, like, they were, you know, responding to the story, stuff like that. We as females, we talk about it. We do, in fact, talk about it. Like, we notice it when you're liking all of our posts and you're married. We notice it when you're liking all of our posts and you're in a relationship. Like, we do, in fact, notice that. So when your girlfriend tells you to stop doing it because it's disrespectful and girls pay attention to that kind of stuff, and we do indeed think that I don't want to say I thought that it was funny, because I didn't think that it was funny at the time. I just was like, that is really crazy that you are in a relationship liking these posts.
Yeah, it's very interesting and telling.
I think it speaks volumes on your character as a man. So just know, if you're a man who we know is in a relationship or married, we see the comments. We see what you're doing.
We see you.
We're very nosy here.
Mm-hmm.
So be careful. That's all I'm saying. Because if we notice it,
everybody else probably notices
yeah.
it too.
Tread lightly. Influencer versus real life. Who's faking the fit life?
Like, who specifically?
We can talk about, like, attributes that we see a lot, probably.
Girls or guys in the gym who are, like, barely doing any work, but then they dress kind of like they're, like, an influencer. I don't know. Again, at the end of the day, you do you. However, it is pissing me off that I need that leg press machine, and you are on it doing nothing. So,
again, this I feel like goes back to discouraging people, and I don't want to discourage people from going to the gym or doing what they think is going to help them, or, like, things that make them happy. But when you've gone to the gym for 2 weeks, and now all of a sudden you're, like, gung-ho, balls to the wall, like, everything I post at this gym, what I'm eating, some kind of inspirational quote, how I'm changing my life. Like, if you're doing that, that's great. But walk it before you talk it.
Because there's got to be more to life than just the gym, too. And that, it kind of does become, like, your whole personality. When you're, like, in the gym doing your thing and, like, you spend almost the same amount of time at the gym that you do at home, kind of, you know.
I will say it's you can tell the difference between someone who's doing it for the attention of, I want everybody to think I'm bettering my life versus I am bettering my life. People can tell the difference.
Yeah, that's a good statement.
Did you see anything crazy in the gym this week? I think the later you go to the gym, the more interesting things you see.
All the kids in pajama pants. That's really what. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, and you know, I would feel bad if I knew that was the only pants that you maybe had to wear to the gym, but I know that you specifically went and bought those pants to wear to the gym.
I don't know. I know that pajama pants are not comfortable to wear in the gym.
I don't really wear pajama pants. I wear muumuus.
That feels right.
From Walmart. They always have really good sayings on them.
Well, I wouldn't expect you to have anything less.
Oh, I love a good nightgown.
Oh my God. You're an old lady. I love it.
They're so comfy.
Yeah.
It's like wearing a big t-shirt, but they're such good, like, soft, just
material. Yeah.
My grandma's the one who got Bleb. I call her Bleb. Bleb put me on those.
That's cute.
Do you ever see anyone that's always, quote unquote, lifting, but never really lifts the weight? They're always just taking videos and pictures of it.
Yeah, or I see people doing, like, half reps. You know what I'm talking about? Where they're like, yeah, or on, like, a leg extension where, like, they don't bring their knees all the way down. They're like,
Yeah.
But it's like they're not, like, fully doing a rep. And I'm like, I want to say, like, please just bring your knees down a little bit more, like, closer to you. Like, you know, just do the full rep because it'll be more beneficial.
Here's a good one. Fitness content copycats. Who's mimicking who? Let me be careful with my words. I'll start with this one. This one happened a few months ago and I thought was funny. She followed me on Instagram. I followed her back, whatever.
Who is it?
I can't tell you right now. Because I don't have to go back and cut this out.
Can I say who I think it is?
We got kind of sidetracked, so I'm going to get back into this. Essentially, there was this girl, upstate, South Carolina, in the fitness community, knew, like, she, you know, people in the fitness community, I think, kind of mutually follow each other on social media, so you kind of have, like, active knowledge of, like, said people or whatever, and kind of associate them with the gym. She, a lot of times, would post, like, what she's eating that day. Cool, great, whatever. She would post, it looked like she was taking, like, pictures from above, like, of her food. Essentially, there was a guy who is also in the fitness community. Don't know why he did this. I guess he got bored one day and had nothing better to do. But basically, you know how you can take a screenshot of a picture and back search the photo? And you can figure out, like, you know, if that photo has been found other places or, like, was posted other places.
Yeah.
She was taking pictures from Pinterest and posting them on her story, acting as though she made the food.
That's so dramatic. That's too much. That's too much work. Like, why, though?
I don't know. That was very funny to me, though. And I kind of felt bad because I was like, one, I don't really know why this man cares so much. So then I, you know, started doing it because I was like, well, let's see if this is a habit.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, every time. Every time.
That's insane.
When it comes to, like, being a copycat of things within the fitness industry, like, there's only so much you can talk about, so much you know, products you can review.
Yeah. And imitation is, like, the highest form of flattery.
It really is. Like, I love when people copy me.
Yeah.
And
Because you're copying something that you think will be...
you.
Right. That you like, that you think will be successful. Right?
And we wish success upon everyone. We don't prey on people's downfall. No, we don't. Stop that. No, we don't.
No.
I think that every business has a different business structure and a different end goal with what they're doing. And TNS specifically, I think that in comparison to a lot of other supplement stores you can go to, I think that our end goal is different than many others. And it sets us apart from other people. So, like, you know, if you want to do the same content as us, that's great. I think that we bring in a different clientele just at surface level anyways.
Yeah, a different perspective, too, on certain topics or trends or whatever.
I think we're more about, we say it, like, you know, a scientific background on things that we speak on.
Yeah.
Having knowledge of ingredients. We're here to help people, not to make people spend money. And, you know, at the end of the day, a supplement store is a retail store.
Yeah. But
You've got to make money to keep the lights on. But
absolutely. But we want to be honest and transparent as much as we possibly can.
Yeah.
With people coming in, because, like, as far as, like, a business perspective is concerned, a lot of places don't care if they see the same face twice.
Right.
Like, they just care about making that sale. But it is important to, like, build community and build trust and rapport with people who come in.
Yeah, we want people to trust us.
Yeah.
We want people to know that we have their best interest at heart when we are talking to them when they're here, or talking to them whenever we meet them out in public or wherever it is.
Yeah.
This is an educational hub.
Space. This is a safe space
for you to come and learn.
For knowledge.
You can come in here and ask us any question you want to, and if we don't have the answer, we will call Austin, Jacob, or Jason.
The big brains of the operation.
Yep. But yes, there is a lot of mimicking that goes on within the fitness and supplement industry. You can even see that with actual brands. Like, who knows how many different brands of protein? Everybody's got a chocolate. Everybody has a vanilla. You know, you're just, you're all battling the same fight. You know, you can put, like, oh, I'm going to put one extra ingredient in here that's different than the other ones. But, like, at the end of the day, a protein bar is a protein bar. One's going to taste better than the other.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It just comes down to, like, you know, what do you want to gain from your business and what is your goal? And a lot of people's goals are the same. So there's going to be repeat content. But if you guys want to copy us, we would love for you to do so.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll be copying you, but you can copy us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't mock us. We don't like that.
No. That hurts our feelings.
I think there's a mockery in all walks of life where it's like, you know, you see someone who is successful in a certain space and you try to almost become that person instead of being your true self.
Yeah.
And I think that is the biggest problem.
Yeah.
It's not, you know, companies copying each other or things like that. It's when you hone in on one single individual or person that you aspire to be or something like that, and you think that you need to become them in order to be happy.
Right.
And that's just simply not true. Like, you can take habits or things that they do and, you know, incorporate them into your life, but don't try to become that person.
Yeah.
You have to be yourself.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
And I think the best success comes from being yourself.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Oh
beautiful.
my God.
Another one-liner. Put that on a t-shirt.
So we're going to end it out how we always end it, with our licks and icks for the week. My ick, I've said this on, I think, the first podcast, that one of my non-negotiables is having my nails done. Shout out to Nailed by Kels. I'm literally going to tag her under this video. She's the best. She is my girl. We'll never, ever go to anybody else. I get my nails done every 3 weeks. She was sick on Saturday, literally tore my world apart. All of my nails currently are chipped. They look like doo-doo. And now she's just going to have to do the best with what she can tomorrow when I have my nail appointment. Okay, what's your ick for the week?
My ick. I got really tired of my dead ends, so I cut them myself. So now, like, it feels a lot healthier. Also, more of like a gym related. I've been having to go to the gym later, aka after I leave TNS.
Oh, no.
Which is like 7:30. And
The creatures come out.
It is very distressing to me to have to go at that time. However, I did get to see Frank the other day. It lit up my evening.
My other ick is, last week I talked about how that the vitamin I was taking, I was like, either it's working or I'm pregnant. One, I'm not pregnant. Two, it didn't work. It was almost like it decided to be 2 days late so it could come in with vengeance.
We'll have to talk about that supplement. Because my period hasn't started yet, and I've been taking it consistent. So I'll have to see how my period is, just to kind of compare our experiences.
Do I miss maybe 1 or 2 days a week? Yes. All right, licks.
My lick of the week. I went to Berry Hill today. I think that was my lick of the week last week. I did get my Berry Hill acai bowl. That was delish. I do, again, another food-related lick. On my meal plan, I have pancakes every night.
Stay tuned, because we are going to have I don't know if we're going to do an episode or if we're going to make it into just like a little Instagram video of breakfast at Bailey's.
Stop. Oh my God, I would cry. That would be great. That would be so fun.
We're going to try these freaking pancakes.
Pancakes. Okay, all right, Sly. Yeah, no. So that's probably my lick is
Pancakes. And acai bowls.
Yeah.
My licks are, when I got my hair done today, I feel like a brand new lady.
It looks great.
I was feeling so like dull. If you like my hair, I'm going to tag the girl who did my hair in our caption, so you can find her. Also, hopefully she doesn't send me any kind of freaking letter about this, but the girl who photographed my wedding, basically she kind of screwed me plus like 40 other girls over. This whole situation finally got brought to light, and not that I'm preying on someone's downfall, but this girl has literally ruined like 40 girls' wedding days, including mine, and somebody should know about it. So now they're knowing about it. Actually, let me not end in that, because that is just like very hateful and disdainful. But
yeah. It didn't ruin your day.
It didn't ruin
but
my
it
wedding
did,
day,
like,
but it ruined a lot of the memory of my wedding, because, as most people know, your wedding is a blur, and it's very nice in this day of age to have photography and videography to remember that day by, in which we got screwed over on. My other lick of the week is that we had the best yoga class I've ever taken in my entire life on Saturday.
Wait, how do we
we're going to tag that yoga studio below as well.
Yeah, Blue Jay Yoga.
Blue Jay Yoga, our girl Jackie.
She slays.
Also, shout out Ari. So if you're looking for a very good yoga studio to go to, it's on a farm. It's really cool. Great flow. We learned a lot of new new skills that I've never done before at yoga. So that was really cool.
Inversions. It's a very intimate class, so it would be fun to do like with a group of gals or a group of
couples, whatever.
Yeah, guys, whatever. But it's like a fun, and I think she was talking about doing. You'd probably have to reach out to her as far as like how much like a package would be or whatever. But I think the first class is free.
Yeah, we're going to link her page below so that you guys can find her as well.
Yeah.
We're also going to link our personal Instagrams and the store's social media as well, plus our podcast social media. So if you want to follow us, great. Today's podcast is sponsored by these two specific cans of energy
Dr.
drink.
Bum.
This specific can, not
This
the
can
company.
also.
This can of it.
Yeah. This can whispered in my ear earlier and said, hey, I'd like to sponsor this episode if that's okay with you. And I, of course, I had to get with JC and be like, I'm really wanting to get in on this. So, yeah.
So
yeah.
this episode of The Big Scoopers is brought to you by these specific cans of Dr. Bum Energy, Dr. Pepper flavored.
Very delicious.
We'll catch you on the flip side.
All right. Bye.
Wait a minute, let's spill how we live it. All the fitness tea, you know we digging for the business. Big scoop getters, headlines and the whispers. Top drama queens getting heat, never miss it. Straight savage, gossip got the traction. Bringing all the fitness facts, yeah, we causing action. Trend smashers, the queens of all the chatter. Laughing while we sipping pre-workout, it's a pattern. Rolling through the industry with the big scoops.